Hey, it's Jared again. Another manga update. This time for July, I believe. I'm kind of losing track. Um, Bunch this time, and a lot of good ones. This time I got Gangsta Volume 1 through 6, and I wanted to read it because it was so popular right now with the anime. And I heard it was based on a manga, so I decided to check it out, and I really like it so far. The characters are really good, and I don't know if I should bother explaining the plot, but it's just about two guys who are kind of hired assassins for the mafia, and one of them has like special abilities, and you find out that he's part of a group that have a bunch of special abilities, like hired assassins or something like that. Um, Not too much is revealed so far. I've only read the first two volumes, but I really like the characters so far, and the story is kind of generic so far, but that's only because the story's kind of been revolving around introducing these characters, which is kind of what mangas do for like the first one or two volumes. So I'll see if it gets even better, but hopefully it does because I really like the characters, but the story is still like it's good, but it's not like oh wow, you know. So I don't know. I guess I'll see. So yeah, I got 1 through 6 here, and that's up to date. That's out. I think 7 comes out next month. Next, I have Lone Wolf and Cub Omnibus number 9. I've said before that I thought this was going to be the last one, but apparently I was wrong. Apparently I thought that these were like 3-in-1s, and there's only 27 volumes, but they're not 3-in-1s. They actually just put a random amount of chapters in these omnibuses. So this covers up to about 21, 22, something like that. So it should almost be done, like at least 3, I think, maybe. So I have to wait even longer to read New Lone Wolf and Cub, but that's okay. You can tell that the story is nearing the end though, because it's kind of in like the final stages. Everything's coming together or whatever. So yeah, um, still good, and I can't wait to read the end eventually. Next is Magical Girl Apocalypse Volume 3. Still very, very weird, very gory, but I've said before, like the story and everything, it's not like great or anything like that. What I really like is just seeing all the different character designs of the magical girls. They're all very weird looking, and I just like seeing what the next one is gonna look like and what the ability is gonna be that it has. Um, but yeah, it's really good. Um, I don't know. I guess if you like Gantz or something like that, you might want to read this because it's kind of like Gantz, only instead of aliens, it's magical girls. Um, but yeah, I enjoy it. You know, if it sounds interesting at all to you, check it out. Just remember it's very bloody. Next is Bleach Volume 64. Good volume. It's the story is getting more interesting. Like this final arc has been just whatever to me so far, but now it's starting to get better to me. And the manga is more ahead online. You know, the chapters in Japan, and I'm hearing that people are still liking it, so that's good. Uh, yeah, hopefully it has a good ending. You know, I'm not really sure how it's gonna end, but yeah, I still like Bleach a lot. It has its ups and downs, of course, but overall, I enjoy it and I'd recommend it. Next is another long running manga, Fairy Tail, Volume 49. Fairy Tail, I've said before, is just a lot of fun. You know, it's not the best written manga, and the characters, you know, aren't anything special in my mind, but it's a lot of fun. I have fun with the characters, I have fun with the stories, so yeah, I enjoy Fairy Tail a lot. You know, don't go into expecting like something of a masterpiece or something that'll go down in history and manga, but it's good. Uh, it's probably taken the place of Naruto as one of the big threes, I think. Next is Pokemon Adventures Emerald, Volume 29, the final volume for Emerald, and the final missing gap between 29 and 30. Uh, Volume 30 is the first volume of Diamond and Pearl. So with this out now, Pokemon Adventures is pretty much all caught up, except for the Black and White volume still coming out. I think Black and White is done in Japan because they've already started making X and Y. So yeah. Yeah, it was a good story. I forgot to mention that. I've said before, Pokemon Adventures is really good. You shouldn't dismiss it just because it's Pokemon. It's actually very enjoyable. Next is Tiger and Bunny Volume 7. These come out pretty far in between, so I kind of forget what happened before. But I looked back and I checked it out, so I remember. And this one is good. I don't love it, but it's good characters and it's an okay read. I don't know how long it's going to go on for. I don't know if the TV show is fully done or not. I think it is, so I don't know how close it is. I think it's nearing the end just from what's going on. But overall, it's okay. I don't regret reading it, but I didn't think it was anything special. I did like the idea of how superheroes are just nothing but propaganda and media attention and all that, and they're not really heroes. But they used to be. So I don't know. That's a pretty cool concept to me. So yeah. Next is Akame Got Killed Volume 3, and I am really enjoying this. It can get pretty dark sometimes. It's weird because other mangas that are very much more morbid than this, I don't react as bad because the whole entire manga, the tone of it is dark and morbid. But in this, it has such lighthearted moments that when something really messed up happens, it's like, oh my god. So yeah, but I like the story and I like the characters and I am interested to see what happens next. I hear that the anime made up its own ending because the manga is still going on, and I always hate it when animes do that. So yeah, I don't plan on watching the anime, and hopefully the manga's story still stays good. Yeah. Next is A Certain Magical Index Volume 2. I recently went back and reread all of Scientific Railgun, and I still really love it a lot. This volume takes place in between Volume 1 and 2 of Railgun, and I actually think I'm going to put these volumes in between my Railgun volumes because it really does connect well with the story. In this volume, the main character kind of loses his memory, and in Railgun, there's a chapter where the main character of that story runs into him, and he doesn't remember her. And at first, I thought that was just really weird, and maybe he's just kind of an idiot or something. But then this made it clear, oh, well, he doesn't remember because he had his memory messed up. So I like that it connects well. And I think the third volume of this is going to go into the whole clone story from Railgun. So, it's pretty cool. The artwork isn't as nice as Railgun's, but I guess that makes sense since this is based off an anime, whereas Railgun is solely originally a manga. So, I don't know, maybe that's why. Usually, mangas based off animes don't have the best artwork. I don't know why. Next is Pokemon Adventures Black and White, Volume 8. And Volume 9 is the final for Black and White. I haven't heard any announcements of releasing Black and White 2 here, but they should. Black and White 2 is done in Japan, and they're starting X and Y. And they've already announced they're releasing X and Y here, probably because X and Y is what's popular in Pokemon right now. So, I don't know, I hope there's not going to do another gap thing, which they probably are. Hopefully, Pokemon Adventures Black and White 2 isn't too long and you're going to have this long gap or something like that. But I haven't started reading these yet. I wanted to wait till I finished Emerald first, which I did, but then I realized, well, there's only one more volume of Black and White left. I might as well just wait for it and then just read them all at once. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait. Next is Vagabond, Volume 37. Now, I collect the Viz Big Editions of Vagabond, which is 3 volumes in one. and I highly recommend getting those because the paper quality and everything is really great, and they keep the colored chapters and everything. I don't know if they do that for this. The pages are still nice, but I don't think they have the colored pages. Anyways, I went back and reread my Vagabond volumes because it's actually been a few years and I didn't really remember much, so I reread it and I forgot how much I loved it. Very good story, great artwork, everything. Everyone knows Vagabond is great artwork. It's what it's most famous for. But it's a great story, and the omnibus that I have, the last one, goes up to volume 36, and I don't see the next omnibus coming out for a long time because 38 is still not out in Japan. But 37 came out not that long ago here in the US, and I figured I might as well just get it. So I just got it, and yeah, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I can continue reading the story, and it looks like the manga is reaching its final story arc, because I'm pretty confident the manga is going to end with Musashi here fighting his arch rival and like the most famous duel in Japanese history. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to end, and they're all heading towards the location of where that happens. So I'm pretty sure this will probably end with volume 40s, low 40s, I think. So depends on how long the artist wants to draw it out, But I think the mangaka actually said that he plans on finishing it within a year, but I think he's also said that before, so I don't know. Next is Terraformers, what volume is this? 7. Still liking Terraformers a lot, and I heard that the anime is getting a second season, which is nice, because I always hate it when animes just suddenly stop and never continue. But yeah, I'm glad that that's going to happen. I've been thinking about watching the anime because I'm really liking the manga. Though I hear that the anime isn't as good because the manga likes to explain scientific things about insects, which is interesting to me. But when you watch it, you have to just wait for the guy to finish talking about it, whereas in this, you can just read it as fast as you want. So that's one of the down things I've heard about the anime. But it's a good volume. I still have no idea where the story's going to go from here. I don't know what the future is. And I don't even know if this manga is only going to cover this mission that's going on, and that's what the whole rest of the manga is going to be. But so far, I'm really enjoying it a lot, and I can't wait for the next volume. And last but not least is Prison School, Volume 1. And I got this because a guy who has a podcast about manga was talking about how he really likes this, but he doesn't like ecchi stuff that much. And this manga is full of ecchi stuff, which is fan service. And but he said he still loved it even though it had that, and he thought it was really funny. So I thought, okay, I'll check it out. And it is pretty funny, and I like the artwork. The artwork is actually really good. And I love the faces he makes the characters do, because those are always really funny. And I like that it's, even though like there are a lot of, sexy women and stuff like that, the roles are reversed where the women are actually the powerful ones in this manga, and the guys are weak and pathetic, and the girls like boss them around and stuff. And I don't know, that's just interesting to me, because usually whenever a manga has fan service, the girls are usually like, and, so it's very different with this. And I don't know, the concept's pretty interesting. Group of boys join a all-girls school because it finally opens as co-ed, but the guys get in trouble, and now they're put in like this prison that's kind of like permanent detention or whatever like that. And it's really funny. They try to sneak out, and hijinks and all that crap, but it's really good. And I like that it comes in this big, almost omnibus kind of thing. I don't know if that's how it was released in Japan, but a lot of chapters for just one volume, so that's pretty cool. So yeah. Anyways, I liked it, and that's it for month of July. August is almost here, so I'll be getting more in soon and then make another video. Alright, bye.